Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. And today's video is all about how to run a successful Facebook ad. Without any further ado, let's begin. When you start running Facebook ads, you realize that it's not what people told you.
I'm gonna show you how to make some freaking money. This is an easy trick to make $100 a day with Facebook without owning your own product.
It's not something which is really easy because there is a lot of metrics involved. There's a lot of A/B testing involved, and you're kind of overwhelmed at the time that I didn't think that it was so hard. But yes, the truth about Facebook ads is it's just cutting on impressions based on how much money you pay. And that's why when Mark Zuckerberg brought this update in kinds of, marketing and allowing the 3-second video roll even when if you're scrolling. Their idea was if your content's good, you're gonna come up the top. If not, we don't care.
I'm gonna show you how to make some freaking money.
And that's bad. That's bad for creators because let's say if you're not that much of a good creator, now you're gonna have a very much tough time on Facebook in trying to, sell your thing. So don't worry, I'm here. I'm gonna tell you 7 metrics to keep every time you design your ad campaign. And whenever you design this ad campaign, if you use these 7 metrics to test it out, I'm pretty sure that they will work. So before that, let me tell you about myself. I run Elysium.org. It's a digital marketing organization where we talk, mentor, and tell people about how to market themselves better. And feel free to check out the website. And there you can find our latest blogs, videos, and trends which are currently running out in digital marketing. Let's begin. So I'm going to lay out a scenario, and let's say this is an ideal situation. So I'm going to start from my first metric and walk you through. So my first metric is going to be the amount of money you spend on the ad. Now you'll be like, wait a second, I thought you're going to tell me something which Facebook didn't tell. But hear me out. What I'm trying to say is if you, let's say, decide that you want to spend $100 on your ad and you are trying to make that as your advertising budget. So what is the difference between running a $100 ad and a $1,000 ad? That's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't mean that you have to pay for a $1,000 ad and run it. Maybe if you run a $100 ad, that might produce the same kind of results or not, but highly likely if you choose your niche right and if you really go through the interest, I think you'll be able to get quite good results. But then let's say if you put $100 and what's your purpose? Your purpose is to get 200 clicks. This is an ideal situation. So second metric would be your clicks. So let's say if you put $100 of your money to get 200 clicks on your link or whatever the sign up is, you are getting 200 people to your destination page, whatever the page is. If it's a click funnel, if it's a product page, if it's a course. So now you've got $100 spent on the ad and $200 or 200 clicks coming in from that $100 spend. What you see next is a CPC. That's cost per click. So when you run this ad, Facebook tells you what your CPC is, and let's say you find out your CPC is 50 cents, right? So just imagine that if your cost per click is 50 cents and you've got 200 clicks, so that brings the total to about $100. That's your spend. So see, this is how it's connected. So once you found the CPC, that's cost per click, the next thing you're going to be looking at the lead generation. Now this is a broad topic. What happens is, let's say you have a product page. So how many people went to that product page and actually bought? That's the lead. So after you've run the ad, you've got the clicks, you've got the CPC for this is the lead generation. And how this works is basically you get to know how many people actually bought your product, right? So let's say your lead generation is about 10%. So out of the 200 clicks you got 20 people to buy your product, right? Now let's say your product is of $10. So you paid $100 on the ad. You've got 20 people to buy your $10 product. You've made $200. Now if your setting a $10 product and you run a $100 ad, that's an ideal case, but that's how it works. So now the fifth point is going to be your product, which is how much is your product worth. So let's say my product is worth $50. The idea is again to sell them through this ad. So my final price is going to be somewhere around $1,000 on a $100 ad. But this is the ideal case, but that's how it works. So if you have if you have a $50 worth product, your ad spend would be more, but the division would work the same way. So let's say your ad spend was $200 at the point, and then you got about 400 clicks. Then again, the CPC is the same 50 cents. You're going to make the same amount of money. What you're going to make is around $20,000. So that's how it works, and that's how people are successful in. But something which not a lot of people talk about is the upsell. Now, let's say if you come to my store and you're about to purchase a t-shirt, and then I upsell a hoodie. Maybe of the same design, maybe of the same print or something like that, but I upsell it and you buy it. That's when I make the big chunk. So let's say your product was about $50 and let's say it's a service now. But what you can do is let's say it's a course. So you sell the basic course in $50 and then the person's interested, and then you get the upsell course of this, like the fast track course where an actual mentor comes in and teaches you stuff. You put it at around $700 and that person buys it. But the CTR, the click-through rate from the upsell is about 1%, and that's the best case scenario. Let's say one person buys it, right? Let's take out the basics. So if you spent $400 and sold him a $700 product, and the products which were initially sold, the 20 ones, you made a hell lot of money. And that's how you have to program your Facebook ads. You have to make sense with them in order of your number, because let me tell you, it's always all about the numbers. If your numbers are bad on Facebook ads, it's going to blow it up in your face. Now, before I go, I'm going to give you one bonus tip, which is, let's say if you had this kind of a scenario where you were selling a digital course and that was of $50, and then you sold an upsell which was of $700, and your click-through ratio was 20% to 2% over there, right? About 20 people bought the basic course, you made about $1,000, and then about 2% of 20, 4 people, $2,100 over there. So the total is $3,100 on the spend of $400 on the ads. Not regarding the ad copy that you made, that's something separate, because that's another point. That doesn't go with the numbers. If you make a good ad copy that just promotes your selling, you might even be able to sell more. But a general ad copy, which is not too great, but it's not too bad, sells. I hope that you understood this metrics, understood what I mean to say by understanding the numbers, and also let me know in the comment section that what are your biggest doubts when you run such kind of Facebook campaigns. Because if you're being honest, just do the maths once again. You'll find out that Facebook ads are very much profitable, but the way they're supposed to be done is the name of the game. And a lot of people always get overwhelmed with information when they see the analytics, they see the impressions, they just don't know how to work around it. And that's why we're here. We're here to help you on every step with that. And just, if you have even any concerns regarding your Facebook ads, you can just let me know in the comment section and I'll address to them personally. Before you go, I would love to have you like this video if you really liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you're not. And if we get about 1,000 likes, I'm going to give you a free course on how to run Facebook ads, which is basically a cheat sheet of mine, but it has certain growth hacks, as you can say. These are basically some tips that come with the cheat sheet, and it's going to be about how you can, run your Facebook ad campaigns better. Until then.